project, BMW K100, the flying brick. This is the 86 model 4-valve with parts already falling off it. Picked it up a few weeks ago, ridden it over the bridge and ready to start another cafe racer build. Pretty excited on this one. Not too much damage on it really, just caked on grime from years of neglect, unfortunately. Grease that's never seen the light of day, and a battery that weighs about 15 kilos. Definitely going to be losing a lot of kilos in this build. Rust everywhere. Mostly surface rust, but as you can see on the shock, a bit more to deal with, and then a nice patina everywhere else, mixed with lots and lots of grease. First up was to just remove the seat, which turned out trickier than expected. Hadn't read the manual. Next was to remove the radiator and tank. Pretty straightforward, to just remove a few pipes, drain the radiator before, and then take the tank off. Onto the rear shock. This was surprisingly easy to remove, considering that it's a pretty vital part of the bike. Just slipped straight off. The nut was only sort of half on, so, and to be honest, it's sort of a running theme for other parts of the bike. I think it was itching to be disassembled because bits seemed to fall off without me even touching them throughout this build. Very reassuring. Frame. This was a tricky one. Every time I thought I'd disconnect the wire, I'd find one more. So trusty phone and light to try and find the last cable. Here I was trying to look inside between the air inbox next to the injection system to see what cable was hanging on. Thought I'd already removed the accelerator. Turns out I hadn't, and decided that it was pointless, so I ripped it hard and ripped the accelerator cable in half. Another one to add to the list. By this point it was spend a few hours ripping this thing apart, and I was already over the quirky bits of this bike that I hadn't anticipated, but it's fun nonetheless. The air intake is a simple circlip which pops off to reveal the filter and fan inside. This will all be at least the casing will be going, and I'll be fitting an aftermarket filter on, probably a K&N 60mm filter. That seems to be pretty common on these sort of cafe racer builds, and it's one that I'm pretty keen on replicating. The theme of this bike is to kind of minimize where I can, remove any crap really, and any heavy things. Anything I can really drop the weight and get it a bit more of a cleaner look. Here the fuel rail, this has all been disconnected and removing the injector cables. Again, really almost stupidly easy to remove. Just a very light pressure and they just pop right off. Not sure if that's meant to be the case. If anyone can advise on that, if that should be a better connection. I didn't seem to have any problems with combustion or anything with the spark plugs, with the fuel injection, so it was obviously getting the right amount, but who knows. Caked on grime through years and years, none of which had seen the light. Here it is trying to remove the exhaust system. The pipes off the bottom of the cylinders will be used off the exhaust. They're going on to an aftermarket collector, and then onto a aftermarket exhaust. I haven't quite sorted out exactly which exhaust yet. If someone can advise on that, that'd be great. I'm thinking something small, something that I can kind of keep out of the way, and that has a small sort of muffler attached that's not gonna drop the noise too much. Then it was straight into removing the full airbox that sits above the carburetor system there. This turned out to be pretty easy, and ended up breaking a few of these silly little clips. And then looking online, it turns out that they're $5 each US to buy replacements. So for the OEM BMWs, I think if you're going to the hardware store and picking up a few 45mm replacement ones for a few cents rather than the $5, I figure if I turn them around, you're not even going to see the clamp end. Here I was pretty paranoid not to get dust into the actual cylinders, so I stuffed them with rags nice and tight to ensure that nothing slipped in. Moving the rear wheel was very easy again. Employed the help of my cheap labourer to hold the rear brake cylinder while I tautened off the screws, popped her off, nice and easy. It's something that should have been done probably while the bike system was in place, but no worries. Here I am getting stuck in and just giving everything a damn good clean. I ended up using a CRC degreaser, undiluted. Basically I went in and asked for the strongest thing they had, and they gave me this. It was sort of $80 for 5 litres, so it's pretty expensive, but a few sprays of that, let it soak in, and then with a toothbrush it just all comes off. Just really start to see it. Man versus grime, and man's slowly winning. Even though this stuff was said you don't need a respirator, it still managed to get a little drop in my eye, and it like nothing else. So I opted to wear safety glasses and rubber gloves just because you don't want to mess around with these kind of chemicals that can basically melt off grime. Plan is to leave the section there, top section, above the cylinders there, a silver bare alley, and then the rest is going to be spray painted, but I'm not sure if it needs some kind of protection on there. It'd be great if somebody can let me know if there's something on the market for that. I forgot to actually film removing the alternator and stator motor. That all was pretty straightforward. Here I am. This section here won't be painted, so I'm giving it a quick light brush over with the brass wire wheel. Basically just trying to get it to shine. Not too worried about the actual finish on this particular section. That probably will be painted black. Haven't quite figured exactly how that's going to work yet, but I figured this is a bit of a quicker way of doing it rather than spending 4 weeks sanding. Under here was thick with grime. It never seemed to stop under here. Doesn't matter how hard I seem to brush. The bastards don't move. Get in there with a bit of elbow grease, toothbrush and a wire brush, and eventually it starts to make a difference. That's it for cleaning video. I'm going to be making another video shortly of painting all the casings and swing arm. So stay tuned for that.